And I like saving, I don't save money, I save gold, silver, Bitcoin, oil as commodity because it's real. It's based down here. And I just explained to you how I can make $1 million, buy $1 million of Bitcoin and pay no tax. Good, good. And how, as you know, I like oil. And, and oil is under fire right now because of carbon tax.
Right.
Which is good because I'm going to make even more money because I'm going to shift and become a greenie. And I'm going to invest in green new energy because I get huge deals for carbon tax now.
Of course.
Of course. Capitalism is wonderful stuff. You just keep moving around out there. Where everybody else is trying to eat granola and eat asparagus, I'm shifting to a greenie, buying carbon tax credits and making fortunes on it because I'm going to buy oil with it. But for years, when you look at this thing here, this is the point of having Tom in his book is Tax-Free Wealth, and you should have tax advisors. Right. But anyway, I love this here commodities down here because in my opinion, this is where your wealth is stored. So as I explained in the last other interviews is, I make a lot of money, Kim and I make a lot of money here. Let me show this. So let's say the Rich Dad Company makes $1 million here. And the next thing I do is I give the money to Kenny. So $1 million comes down here and Kenny borrows $4 million of my one. So I've now moved my $4 million over here as 5. So 1 plus 4 equals 5. And that's this other tax. This is part 4 of a 4-part series. So please listen to Kenny and Tom and myself and Kim talking about how the entrepreneur, like Donald Trump, unlike Hillary and the other characters, I make my money here as a business owner. The money then goes into Kenny, who borrows $4 million, and we buy $5 million of real estate. How does that save me money, Tom?
Well, so there are major incentives in the tax law for buying real estate, investment real estate. So you get the big tax deductions from the real estate that offset the income from the business. So effectively, you end up not paying tax on the business income because you did what the government wanted you to do and put it into real estate. And you know very well, Robert, the same thing happens if you put it into oil, right? Or if you put it into solar, you get the same type of tax benefits so that you're not paying tax on your business income or your other income.
So let me I'm going to take it to it, because this is what we teach through our cash flow clubs. This is advanced tax strategy and real estate strategy. So it's 5 million. Let's say that 5 million property appreciates up to 10 million. I borrow out the 5. So we went from 5 million. It's now worth 10 million. Kenny raises the rents. I pull out $5 million in cash. Is that tax-free money?
That is tax-free money. Debt is not taxable.
And with that, I buy Bitcoin.
Exactly. So that's how you make your Bitcoin not taxable. Or, you have other options too. I mean, you can buy Bitcoin in, for example, you could buy Bitcoin in your Roth IRA. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do here once you understand the tax law and how the incentives work.
See, the problem with most people is when they make some money, they want to spend it. And that's the problem. Oh, I'm a billionaire in Bitcoin, but I can't spend a thing because my capital gains tax will be through the roof. But there's things you can do if you have a great tax strategist like Tom. Now, all the communists and the pinkos and the school teachers out there say, well, that's not fair. Well, that's what Hillary Clinton attacked my friend Donald Trump. She says, you don't pay any taxes. And as Trump said to Hillary, but this is 2016 or whatever it was, that means I'm smart. Just because you make a lot of money and you pay taxes means you're stupid. So my Bitcoin is totally tax-free simply because this is my general policies. I make $1 million here. It comes down here. Kenny borrows $4 million, so I have $4 million in debt and liabilities. We buy a $5 million property. The $5 million property we raise the rent. It goes up to 10. I borrow out the 5 and I buy Bitcoin in it. So if you understand that That's why Donald Trump says that means I'm smart. So just because you're rich in Bitcoin or gold or silver doesn't mean you're smart. So when we come back, we've been talking more with Tom Wheelwright on how commodities are your most important asset, in my opinion. I mean, this is where my wealth is. I don't save dollars. It's just trash. As Michael Saylor says, about Bitcoin is the dollar's like holding onto an ice cube that's melting in your hand. And they're going to, this is 2021, they're going to print another 1.6 trillion or 9 trillion. I mean, your savers are getting screwed, which means Bitcoin goes up, probably gold and silver goes up through inflation. But just because the commodity goes up doesn't mean you're rich. You still have taxes. But the point here is this. Let me just read it. The rich dad philosophy is, I don't, Tom knows I don't have any stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETF because they're taxable. And I like saving. I don't save money. I save gold, silver, Bitcoin, oil as commodity because it's real. It's based down here. And I just explained to you how I can make $1 million, buy $1 million of Bitcoin and pay no tax. But oil is another one, Tom. So let's say I have extra cash here coming from Kenny or however I get it, which is part of the Cash Flow Club series. Let's have $1 million and I give my money to my friend at, oil company in Dallas. Let's say I give him $1 million for oil exploration. How much of that money is taxable?
Zero.
Zero.
Because if you have $1 million, let's say you made $1 million from your business and you put that $1 million into oil, you'd get a deduction of $1 million to offset the $1 million from the business, and basically you'd pay no tax. And so it's a tax-free investment.
So this is what we teach at Rich Dad. I have a business, I have a number of businesses, but the one people know is Rich Dad. I make $1 million here. It comes down here to Kenny. He ramps it up to $5 million. He adds $4 million of debt in it. Is debt tax-free?
It is.
Yeah, and it comes over here, comes in as 5. Kenny then raises the rents, and let's say the property goes from 5 million to 10 million. I borrow out the 5 million, and I buy $5 million worth of oil. What happens to me then?
So now you've got a $5 million deduction. You actually need more income. You need more taxable income. At that point, it's backwards. Now you need to increase your business income so you can actually use that loss.
So the other part of it is because I have all this money coming in tax-free because of Tom, I'm stacking up my commodity column here. So my Bitcoin is piling up. I don't need the cash because I'm catching it off of tax-free debt coming off. That's what we teach at Rich Dad. Anybody says go to school, get a job, and buy an ETF, you should shoot the bugger. You're lying to me. You're making me pay taxes. I'll be a hardworking person, and you're working for all this money really, really hard, and then Biden's going to print one more $9 trillion. I mean, are you nuts? When they print money, your purchasing power of your salary goes down. Right, Tom?
Oh, for sure. Now, you talk about being a greenie and going that direction. So remember, the same thing that we do with oil and the same thing we do with real estate, remember all the incentives, they're going to go towards green energy. So they're going to go to solar and wind and whatever kind of green energy they have, there's going to be not right now. We don't just have deductions. We have credits, which is a dollar for dollar offset. I mean, this is like nirvana from a tax standpoint where you can actually make money from the government by investing.